Galloping is a staple technique that you hear in most subgenres of metal music and in so many of the great metal riffs that we all love. Let's talk about what the gallop is. So it is going to be a combination between two 16th notes and an 8th note. Generally in metal, there may be some circumstances to where it's two 8th notes and a quarter note. It's basically two fast notes with a slower note. Or another way to think of it would be like three notes with a rest. It kind of sounds like, because you're always going to palm mute it. Because you can kind of hear that 8th note raining out a bit. I guess how aggressively you palm mute it is going to make a difference, and then how fast you play it as well. Some people would consider the gallop to be when you start on the 8th note and then play the two 16th notes. And then some people would consider the way I played it, or the way they play it in that Rain and Blood song, to where it's two 16th notes and then an 8th note. They would consider that to be a reverse gallop. So not every riff is going to be straightforward like that, to where it's just, or just straight gallops, or reverse gallops, or whatever you want to call them. Some riffs are more like, and there's just kind of gallops incorporated in the middle. I just consider any combination between the two 16th notes and the 8th note that gives that kind of impression, that sound of like a horse galloping. To me, I just consider that to be a gallop. This is going to be like the most important factor that is going to make you successful at eventually playing these up to speed and playing your favorite riffs and not getting tired. First idea is relaxation. So you need to be relaxed. You need to pick from your wrist. And in order to pick from your wrist means that your wrist needs to be relaxed. Sometimes that's easier said than done. I know for me, especially when I'm filming, like I get really tense. So a few ways that I help with that tension is by taking some deep breaths before. Deep breaths all the way into the stomach and then out. Or if you ever seen like a UFC fighter or a boxer, before they start their fight, they'll kind of just jump around and loosen up a bit. I'll sometimes do that before I sit down to play guitar, and that seems to help out a bit. So the motion that you want your wrist to be making is kind of like you're turning the key in a lock, something like that. Or another way that I think about it is like if you were to like slam your hand in a door and then you just kind of shake it out because it hurts. Something like that is kind of the motion that you want. It's really about building up stamina in order to get these gallops to where you can play them proficiently, fast, for long periods of time. And there's two ways to build stamina. First of all, you can practice and play and build up the strength in your hand and your wrist. And then the second way is to utilize the least amount of energy as possible. So that's what we're going to talk about right now. One way to use less energy while picking is to have a down angle and then a slightly left angle, or angle towards your neck. Generally, I mean, you could have a right angle or angle towards the bridge, but that's kind of a weird position for, I think, most of us to have our wrist in. So generally it's going to be angled this direction. That's going to utilize less energy than if you're picking like straight flat up and down like this. Like most people would probably just pick up a pick and a guitar first thing without knowing anything and just pick like that. But having that down angle and that left angle is going to utilize a lot less energy. And then also, the less you're gripping your pick, the less energy you're going to use, obviously. But there is going to be a happy medium there, because if you don't grip your pick enough, then it's going to follow your hands, or it's going to move around and it's going to screw you up. And also, the more angle and the less pick grip you have, the less aggressive your riff's going to sound. So there's definitely a happy medium there. So this is the least amount that I can have my pick gripped, and probably the most angle I can have. You see, hear that it's just kind of a scratchy sound versus like Several ways that you can pick the gallop. You can alternate pick all the notes, so down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. You can down pick all of them, but it's going to be hard to play gallops up to the speed that you want if you're down picking all the notes. You can go 2 down picks and then an up pick. But I think the most effective way and the most efficient way that I've found, that I think most people play it this way, that play them like fast and effectively and efficiently, down, up, down, but then I let my pick bounce off of the string on that second down pick, and so that I'm continuing to start on the downstroke. So in my opinion, the best way to learn the gallop is by finding like a simple, straightforward riff that incorporates like 1 or 2 gallops, or just even like a piece of a riff, something like